Zoom. We should be good. Otherwise, Dad would have said something. Okay. I think we're good. Yeah, I'll get you. Maybe it was because of the music. It's weird.
Okay. Hello.
Hello. Good evening. As always, something happening. Welcome to the Tea for All Reasons Facebook Live
For June.
for June. Yeah,
Wow.
a little rusty.
Feels like it's been a while.
It does feel like it's been a while. What was April?
Well, it has been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah. Anyway, welcome. I'm Jen with Tea for All Reasons.
And I'm Marcia with Vintage for All Reasons.
And you're here for our Facebook Live on Tisanes and Herbals. We think it's going to be shorter tonight than normal because I'm not showing a lot of stuff. We will show some teas, and she's got some goodies to show.
And the demo is not a baking demo per se. It's going to be 3 things, but the prep has pretty much been done. So, but you'll catch on when we get there.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll start with the normal reminders, and I apologize. I have to cough. I've been dealing with
the same thing that Pop has.
That my dad has. Hold on.
Yeah.
Mute my It's terrible.
By the way, Molly's on the camera tonight.
Yep, Molly's on the camera tonight. Pop is monitoring in his office
Because he's
coughing.
coughing. Yeah.
And we didn't want that.
And it was funny. I was telling Jen that I looked back on my, he's waving, looked back at my memories and realized that a year ago,
We were doing
same
coughing.
situation, coughing, and he was in there and Molly was on the camera.
Yeah, good times.
I'm going to
Seems
check
be.
mine.
Sure. Oh, sorry. My coughing increases in the evening, so that's going to be terrible.
Well,
if I
and
continue to cough.
the more you talk too, so
Yeah.
we'll try to keep coughing or
keep the
talking and
in the
coughing,
minimum, which is
minimum.
really hard when you're doing a presentation to not do the talking. So, but anyway, we're going to get through it.
We will.
And we're glad that you've joined us tonight.
Yeah, and we're glad to be here.
I know if we're in the middle of the president's military parade, so
Right. We have a saying in our family that we're vertical, we are mobile, and we're taking nourishment.
taking sustenance.
So we're good.
Yep, we are. We're good. Hold on.
Except for your cough.
Except for my cough. I'm going to take a drink. Hopefully that will help. Okay. Hopefully the drink helped. It's not really a dry throat issue, so it's weird. Anyway, so general reminder of the website. You're not selling anything tonight.
No. Well, I may mention a couple of things.
Okay.
But they won't be on
They won't be
on the
Etsy.
Etsy. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll mention something.
So my website is teaforallreasons.com, and if you see any of the teas that you like, that's where you'll find them. You're at the Tea for All Reasons page, business page at Facebook.
Right.
There's also a group, which is a private group for Tea for All Reasons. You have to answer a couple questions to be approved to the group, but anybody's welcome. And then my email address is info@teaforallreasons.com.
Mine is info@vintageforallreasons.com.
Right. So anything that she shows, sorry, anything that she shows tonight, you'll want to contact her at her email address.
Right.
And I wanted to remind you, there are still several teas that are discounted at about 40% off at the website. I'm going to keep them on sale for a while. I'm going to discontinue some, and so I'm trying to get those sold out so that I can clear out the inventory. I'm overloaded with tea.
Yeah,
So-
and it's one of those things where any merchant really, you have to make way for new.
Yeah.
And there's no room for new.
No, and I realized probably a year ago, I have way too many teas listed in the website anyway. And so
Yeah.
this is your chance to get some of those teas.
There's some great
there's some good
bargains
ones that are on
Yeah.
sale. Not all of them are going to be discontinued that are on sale. But it is an overstock. So I do have an
Right.
overstock on some teas. They're getting a little older. I need to sell them to make way for fresh.
Yep.
And then quarterly subscribers, it's that time again. July is when the next box goes out. And so the invoice will go out on July the 5th, which I believe is a Saturday this year. And then once you've made that payment, your box will go out 5 to 10 days, probably closer to the 10 business days after I've received the payment, because of my new work schedule. And I'm only processing tea orders on the weekends at this point because of my day job schedule. Shipping on Mondays unless it's a holiday, and then I ship on Tuesday. And that is it for announcements. Pretty short announcements.
Okay.
And so Marmy, her grandma name is Marmy. We've mentioned that in the past, but I'm so used to referring to you as Papa Marmy now at home that you're Marmy. Anyway, she's going to show you the goodies. Yep. In the other part of the kitchen. And so Molly is going to follow. Okay. And Pop's coming out with questions.
I see. Yeah.
So I'll get that.
All right. Okay. You need a place to set it down? Would that help you?
Okay. Before you do that, one of the questions is, will lemon souffle be discontinued? No.
Oh, that's a favorite.
Only if my supplier discontinues it, and I don't think they will. I think it's a bestseller for everybody. Right. So no, that one's going to be around.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad to be back at it, although, I've been suffering with a neck problem, so I didn't want to overextend myself. I wanted to make it as easy as possible for me, but also I wanted to mention that it was back in 1997 that I first started doing tea workshops. And the purpose back then of the tea workshops was to instruct women mainly, although there were some men, on the pleasures of tea and how to brew tea, how to select tea, how to brew tea, how to make scones, how to make pastry, and what have you. But I wanted it to be simple enough that no one would feel intimidated or ill-equipped to be able to serve tea, like an afternoon tea, to their friends or their neighbors or their relatives. I wanted it to be simple. So tonight, this is really very simple. And this is actually, it kind of came together as a little tea. It's not a cream tea, but it is a little tea, a little bit of a difference with it though. So I wanted to show you kind of some basics, and we're using strawberries as the main ingredient. And so some of you maybe have already come through the harvest season for strawberries, but you'll still find them in the grocery store. Others, like in New England, the strawberries are just coming in. Yeah, you can probably
turn your water down.
You can probably take it off. The fresh strawberries, the farmers markets are just now supplied with strawberries. So I'm giving you some ideas about what to do with all these strawberries. And then also, so I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. First thing is I'm going to show you how to do chocolate dipped strawberries. Now, again, it's easy, but some people I think are maybe intimidated by it. But I'm going to show you that it's so easy, and it's just always a winner. And then I'm going to show you also macerated strawberries. Now, what are macerated strawberries? Basically, they're strawberries that have been cut and tossed in sugar and sometimes lemon juice, which I did use a little bit of lemon juice, and allowed to sit in the refrigerator anywhere from an hour, ideally overnight, but I had about 4 hours to let these macerate, and then they are perfect for strawberry shortcake. So that's going to be our finale piece, is the strawberry shortcake. But I'm going to show you the macerated strawberries. And then lastly, we are doing a strawberry chicken salad. And now I can't take credit for it. It's something that popped up in my feed from Tea Time magazine, and I thought that just really looks good and it's really different. So I made this strawberry, it's actually called strawberry chicken salad tea sandwiches, and I changed it up a little bit. I'm using whole wheat bread, and I'm using mango instead of mandarin oranges, and I also didn't have the champagne vinegar to add. I just had regular apple cider vinegar. So I will make note of those changes when I get to that recipe. But everything has already been prepared. And so let's start with the chocolate dipped strawberries. And again, they're so easy. I think sometimes the biggest challenge is finding good quality strawberries to use. And we actually had a challenge because our farmer's market had already finished stocking their fresh strawberries. So we had to go on a search. Actually, hubby did it for me. But he found some great ones today. And they're nice and big and uniform and not bruised, and they're just beautiful. So first thing is your strawberries, you want to wash the strawberries, but then you need to dry them. And so what I did was I washed them and then patted them with a paper towel and then set them out to dry the rest of the afternoon. So these have been out probably about 4 hours, and they're fine sitting out like that. All right, and then the next thing is to choose what kind of chocolate you want to use. Now, again, we're looking for easy, and I use the candy wafers. You can get these at Hobby Lobby or Michael's, and some
grocery stores.
Have them too. You don't have to do the old-fashioned method, which was to melt your chocolate and add a little bit of oil or something like that. You don't have to do that. Use these because these set up so nicely and set up really hard and fast. So the candy wafers, and then I'm going to use the white ones. So I'll show you what I'm going to do with those. But all you have to do, two ways you can do it, is to melt them in a double boiler. And you want to make sure that your bottom pan just has a little bit of water, just so it touches the bottom of the top portion of the pot, and bring it to a boil, but then bring it down to a simmer, and then melt your chocolate. And then, now if you're doing the microwave, you want to put the discs in a microwave safe bowl and put it in your microwave. And I usually do it in 30-second increments. I'll do 30 seconds and give it a stir, do it another 30 seconds. Usually it takes a minute and a half, but I like to do it in little bits because you don't want to overdo it. So at about the minute 30 part, and in between I'm stirring, making sure that it's nice and smooth. So I'm going to do that here in a little bit. So the first thing, the chocolate is all ready. Now another thing I want to say is that you want to make sure that there's not too much water, because if water comes up and gets into your chocolate, it's going to seize it. It's going to get in there and not make it smooth. So you don't want to get any water in your chocolate. That's another reason why you don't want any water on your strawberries. It's not going to cling to the strawberries if they're wet. Okay? Now let's do this. Now I don't have a whole lot of chocolate in here because I'm not going to need a whole lot. Okay, now another thing is sometimes you see in the cooking shows they might put a stick through there or something to dip it into the chocolate. I usually just use the stem, just kind of curl the stem up like that. And then you want to get the camera around here and see that I'm just kind of dipping it in the chocolate. And
Were you putting those strawberries on that parchment?
Yeah.
All right. I didn't know if you had water on the bottom. I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's all right. Okay. And so we're going to do that. In the meantime, Jen, if you could do that in 30-second increments. Yeah, thank you. All right. So we're going to do 6. And I think we've got enough chocolate to just do 6.
Is that what this bowl is for? I mean, the spoon?
Yeah. And these are always a great accompaniment for your tea plate, your tea serving plate, whatever type of tea you're having. If you're doing an afternoon tea or whatever your theme is. I usually do this chocolate covered strawberries. Sometimes I cover them in all white, and then do at Christmas time maybe then do a drizzle of green and red. You can get these discs or sprinkles. Yeah, I've sprinkled them with jimmies, chocolate jimmies. But you can get these discs in all kinds of flavors. If you're doing Easter, you can get purple. I mean, they're just all sorts of colors you can get. All right, and then one more. Now, ideally, you want to wait until these have set up nicely. Before you do a drizzle. But I think it's going to be okay. I'm going to show you as soon as this is melted. I think it's probably got another 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's close.
Now, it used to be that for a long time, especially if I was doing a lot of these, I would use a piping bag. I would put the chocolate into the piping bag and cut a little hole and do the drizzle. But for tonight, I'm going to do something a little bit different, and you can certainly do that, and that's still my preferred way. But I want to show you another method that I saw that we were doing at Christmas time on some cookies. We got kind of carried away, didn't we, Molly? We were doing that. But I want to show you how easy it is if you don't have piping bags, or if you don't want to use the piping bags. We're going to show you a different method on how to do it, to do something fancy.
The bowl got hot.
Okay. All right, so I need to hold it with the...
Yeah, it's hot.
Okay. All right. All right. Now, I'm going to show you 2 different sizes and what happens when you do this. It's kind of fun. It's not as precise as a piping bag, but it is kind of fun. Now, I'm going to try to do them individually. I'll show you both ways. Try to get this.
It's not. It needs something.
Yeah,
to loosen it
it's
up.
a little bit too thick.
It's not going to drizzle.
Okay, you know what? I think I'm going to need to use the piping bag. But theoretically, you should be able to dip it in that, and then it's going to drizzle. Let me just see if I can get a little bit. No, it's not. It's
Do
too
you
thick.
need to melt it more? No, it's melted.
Yeah. All right. So let me get a piping bag.
I can confirm though, when we did this at Christmas, it did work with.
It did. It did.
Good enough.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to have Jen do this for me. Let me get you a glass because it's the easiest.
Not needed.
The joys of watching live.
I know, it is, right? Okay.
We kind of know what we're doing.
You want that? We do know what we're doing, but sometimes you have to adapt.
Things don't work the way they do.
Okay. All right. So let's move on to the strawberries.
Well, I'm almost done.
Okay.
Well, I got you.
You got it.
Interesting.
Now, be aware that the chocolate sets up really fast. So,
Your scissors are not. Oh, for the love. Your scissors are not.
I got 3 pair in there.
Okay.
Probably the one was not great. Okay, let me try.
Yeah, I'll let you do it.
Yep. Okay. All right. Let's see if this will work better. Okay.
Yeah, even in the piping hole too.
Yeah, I'm going to get a little bit bigger hole.
Well, the scissors weren't cutting the hole.
Yeah. All right. Hang on.
Squeeze it. It was coming out.
Yeah, it was coming out. Still the little teeny. All right. We're going to get it.
Eventually.
We're going to get it. Okay. There we go. What I really want to do is get the right angle.
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
Yeah. So there you go. And this is not the ideal because you really want to have your strawberries, the chocolate on the strawberries already set.
Yeah,
Because otherwise the white chocolate will melt.
it just melts into it, but it's fine.
Okay.
You get the
It
gist.
will taste
You get the
same.
gist. They'll taste the same, but I wanted to show you how easy that is to do.
If you have the right melting chocolate.
Well, it is the right melting chocolate.
It's the right stuff.
Yeah, it's the right stuff. Okay. No, I can do a lot better than that.
They look pretty good to me.
Okay. All right. So now let's move on to the strawberries. And these, as I said, have been they've been sliced, well, washed first and then sliced, and then sprinkled with 2 tablespoons. This is, by the way, this is a pound of cut strawberries, and then 2 tablespoons of sugar. And I just gave it a little bit, probably no more than a teaspoon, probably not even that much, half a teaspoon of lemon juice. And so there are your strawberries. And what you want is a nice juicy bowl of strawberries, because we're going to use these on strawberry shortcake. So let me show you how I'm not going to assemble it now. We're going to assemble it after the break. But I did want to mention that I made the scones this morning, and we're going to do strawberry shortcake with scones because why not? And also, they're far superior to the no, you can bring the camera up. They're far superior to what you find in the grocery store, which are like the little sponge cakes, which actually I have great memories of my mom using those for strawberry shortcake. But scones are just so much better. And so I made these this morning. I made them a larger size than I normally would from the scone recipe that's in the cookbook. And I used a 3-inch cookie cutter or scone cutter, a 3-inch scone cutter. It was this one. Yeah, it was that one. So it's a 3-inch scone cutter to get this. And so I'll show them assembled, the shortcake, the strawberry shortcake assembled after the break. But I did want to show you too that this is a wonderful set if you want all different sizes for tarts or scones or biscuits or cookies. This is a great set to have. Now, I also mentioned the scone recipe, and this, the one I used is on page 19 of the cookbook. It's Marsha's Cream Scones, and the cookbook is in the Etsy shop or
At Tea for All
at
Reasons.
Tea for All Reasons. Yeah, you can buy it at Tea for All Reasons when you buy your tea.
Yep.
Okay? All right. And then the third part of our little mini tea that we're having here is this chicken salad recipe that has strawberries and also it's just a wonderful recipe. It has chopped chicken, strawberries, toasted pecans, celery, green onion. It calls for mandarin oranges, but I had a mango, so I used a fresh mango. I think I used about 2/3 of a mango in there. And then a recipe for poppy seed dressing. So I'm going to send you the link for this, and you can make your adjustments if you want to. You can use the mandarin oranges, but I just love the look of this because it, I'm going to use the same thing. It's okay. It's just strawberries. I just love the look of it because it's so colorful, and with the mango and the celery and the green onion and the strawberries. And not only beautiful to look at, but also very tasty. So that's what we have, and we'll assemble everything at the
For
end.
later. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So we're going to take a quick break. Do I need to come in? So that we can get ready for the tea demo portion. I have 6 teas to show, and I'm going to go ahead and brew all of them, I think.
Okay.
And then Mom will show the finished goodies for our small tea, petite tea,
Petite strawberry tea.
and then that's basically it. So let's do 5 minutes. So it's 7:27, but we'll call it 5 minutes. So we'll come back at 7:32. It's a weird number, but I think we really only need about 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll come back from break. I'm not going to turn music on. I was getting a weird message that we were blocked. I think everybody was still good. Probably it was blocking the music. So I need to check on the music that I've been using. So we'll mute our microphones, and there won't be any music during the break.
Okay.
And then we'll come back.
All right.
Okay.
Be back soon.
Okay. So I'm back. Mom is still working on preparing the stuff to show later. Hold on. This cough, man. Okay. So before I do the tea demo and I explain teas, tisanes, and herbals, someone asked a question when I was talking about discounted teas, asked if salty caramel pumpkin was going to be discontinued. No, I have, at some point it might. The base tea for that has been discontinued, but I have a lot in stock. And so I should have enough to get through this season in the fall when I relist it again. Next year is a question mark because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the base tea again or replicate it. I'm working on trying to replicate it, but I'll anyway. I'm not sure. But for this fall, I should have plenty available of the salty caramel pumpkin. Anyway, so you're here for tisanes and herbals, and I've shared this before, but basically any tea that does not have the Camellia sinensis plant leaf in it is not really a tea. The only thing that can be called tea legitimately is anything that comes from the Camellia sinensis plant. That is tea. So black tea, green tea, white tea. That's it. Anything else is considered a tisane or an herbal, and they're kind of interchangeable. Tisane actually came from archaic language. I did a little research, and it meant medicinal drink. Basically, apothecaries back in the day would take herbs and roots and fruits and not vegetables necessarily, although some, and steep them in water to create an elixir or some kind of medicinal drink that they would give for healthful purposes. An infusion of those herbs and fruits and flowers and whatever. Originally, it referred to peeled barley in particular, which I found really interesting. And then it kind of grew from there. The word became rare, and so tisane kind of went out of use for a really long time until the French brought it back in the 20th century at some point. And I'm not sure when in the 20th century, but that's when tisane started to come back into use. Today, a tisane is usually composed of flowers, fruit, dried fruits, roots, herbs, any plant that is considered healthful or safe to consume in some form or fashion, other than the Camellia sinensis plant. But the process is the same. You're steeping those herbals in hot water to create a drink, to bring out the color and the flavors of those plants and fruits in a way that we can consume them. Almost always, an herbal or a tisane is naturally decaffeinated. The caffeine is in the Camellia sinensis plant. It's not in fruits, flowers, herbs, and roots. Like chicory root is one of the roots that's used. Naturally decaffeinated, and so that's why I very often recommend it if you're sensitive to caffeine, because even a decaffeinated black tea could have a trace of caffeine in it. So if you're really sensitive to caffeine or your doctor has said no caffeine, then you want to stay away from tea because it does have caffeine in it. Now, they do have a pretty good process for getting most of the caffeine out of a black tea, for instance. They use a CO2 process to draw the caffeine out of those tea leaves, but they always warn that there is a trace of caffeine left in them. So if you're super sensitive or your doctor has said you must stay away from caffeine for whatever reason, then go to the tisanes and herbals. And so we're talking about rooibos. All of our rooibos teas, unless it's blended with a black tea, and I do have some that have black tea, and I'll typically list that as a black tea instead of as a rooibos tea, because it does have black tea in it. But if it's 100% rooibos and herbals, then that's naturally decaffeinated. Anything that's herbal, just fruit, is obviously naturally decaffeinated and safe for you to drink. And you can drink it all day long, all night. And they're delicious. Like, they've come a long way. It used to be that it was flower petals, that a lot of them were super flowery. I never liked herbal teas because it seemed like they all had rose, which is my least. Like, I don't like rose in my tea. Molly's nodding her head. She's with me. But they've really come a long way, and a lot of them are fruit-based. And, of course, the rooibos or honeybush offer a nice base for a really lovely tisane. And so that's what I'm going to be showing you. I have one pure herbal that's just fruit. And then the others are either rooibos based, or there's one that has a honeybush base. Actually, the strawberry hibiscus sangria is all herbal. And so I'm going to show 6 of our tisanes, and I'm going to demonstrate. I'm going to brew them so that you can see what they look like in the cup. Most of the time, they're not going to be amber. They're going to have more of a reddish or pink hue because of the addition of flowers or fruit or whatever. Rooibos is a redder tea anyway. It's a red leaf that comes out of South Africa. Honeybush is similar and also has that reddish color. And so with that, I'm going to show you the teas, and we will brew them. Watch out, that's hot. Okay, so I'm going to start over here and work my way over. So the first one is Blooming Honeybush, and this is the honeybush base. And it's really lovely. I like this one a lot, and I do drink this one frequently. It's honeybush base. It has dried apple pieces, blackberry leaves, papaya, and peach, freeze-dried papaya and peach in it. And it has a really nice fruity flavor. It's not an overwhelming fruity flavor, but it does have the nice hint of that pear and the peach, the papaya and the peach in it. So that's Blooming Honeybush. Next is Very Berry Muffin, and this is a rooibos-based tisane. It has elderberry, rose hips, hibiscus, currants, schizandra berries, cranberry, apple pieces, blueberries, raspberry, rose petals, strawberry, essence of oil of orange, and some other flavorings in it. And it is a really delicious berry-forward rooibos tisane. So that's Very Berry Muffin. Next is Blackberry Orange. This one's newer. I think I created this one last year. This is also a rooibos-based tisane. It has honeybush in it and green rooibos, which is the raw rooibos. It's the same plant, just processed differently. This one, the green rooibos is just dried. The red rooibos is heated as well in the processing. It has orange peel, lemongrass, apple, rosehip, hibiscus, dried and freeze-dried blackberries, elderberries, currants, and I really love this one. Yeah. It's good. And it does have orange flavor in it. It's delicious. Sorry, got a cough again. Okay, the next one is an herbal. There's no rooibos, no honeybush in it. It is hibiscus, apple, strawberry, orange, and mint. And it's called Strawberry Hibiscus Sangria. And it's really, really nice.
Hibiscus is really good for you.
Hibiscus is good for you. I think I read that it can help lower blood pressure. And so I'm going to try to drink more hibiscus teas. I like hibiscus. Some people are sensitive to it and don't really like it that much. I like hibiscus a lot.
And it brews to a
beautiful color. The next one is Brianna's Blend, and this is from one of the fandom collections. I call it the Scottish Time Traveler show. It's based on Outlander. This one is a rooibos-based tisane that has cornflower, safflower, rose petals, strawberry and blackberry leaves, strawberry bits, chamomile, almond bits, and almond oil in it. So if you're sensitive to almond, then, oh yeah, I forgot to put her microphone on. Sorry. Then if you're allergic to almond, then I don't advise that you try this one because it does have almond and almond oil in it. But this is a really nice strawberry forward rooibos tisane, Brianna's blend. And then the last one is sweet berry compote. This is an herbal. There's no rooibos or honeybush in it. It has apple, sultanas, hibiscus, elderberries, coconut chips, freeze-dried banana, rose petaled, freeze-dried cherry, and raspberries in it. And it's a nice chunky fruity herbal. Okay.
Nice.
So as I said, I'm going to demonstrate brewing all of them because they are all going to come up at different colors, and I love to see how they turn out.
Yeah.
These are our tea sacks that I'm going to use, if I can get it open. And then, of course, my perfect cup of tea spoon, which I do sell in the shop, and I do sell the tea sacks as well. I had to start a new box. These are perfect for 1 mug of tea. And I use them in the demo because it's easier than brewing a pot. We have a little bit of portion control. So the first one I'm going to do is the blooming honey bush. And I do kind of a heaping spoon. And I put it in, and I've shown this before. I put the bowl of the spoon in the sack, and then I turn it upside down to empty it into the sack. And then I fold it over a little bit, and then put the fold over the cup. And then she's going to put water on it. Now, the good news on all of these is they're very forgiving on time. I recommend no less than 3 minutes, but probably closer to 5 for all of these, because you want to have a good steep, especially on the fruits. You want to give them time for the water to bring out the flavors of those fruits. So we're going to let these sit for a bit. So the next one is Very Berry Muffin, and you can see the berries in it, or you could when you were looking at it. So I have a little bit of a heaping spoon. Hold that so it stays. Hold that. Thank you very much. Okay. I think it's raining. And then, is this just a single? Huh, this box? They're just...
Oh, you're not having to take them apart?
No, not yet. Not
Awesome.
yet.
These ones aren't weird?
No, they're not weird. They're not doubled. All right. So the next one is Blackberry Orange, which is the rooibos based with the blackberries. It's fabulous.
It is.
I really love this one. It was in my kit when I was traveling this spring. Well, these were kind of. So I feel like I'm short one.
And then when you pull them out to get 2.
I know. I thought I had 6, but I only had 5. So, okay. All right. So the next one is the Strawberry Hibiscus Sangria. All right. I can never pick up the spoon. And this one had, like, the base of it looks like it's that really fine cut hibiscus. So this one's going to be pink. Very pink.
Sounds like you're going to be drinking that one afterwards.
Me?
Somebody.
I will. Well, you know what? I can drink any of these.
You can drink all of them because they're all herbal.
They're all herbal. Yep.
You can
Yeah,
already
that's
see
almost
this
purple.
one turning pink.
It's almost purple. All right. And the next one is Brianna's blend, the rooibos
It does look very cool.
strawberry. Okay, Brianna's blend, strawberry, rooibos. And then the last one is the sweet berry compote.
I'm excited to try that one. I don't think
Yeah,
I've had
this
that
one's
one.
a nice one. and it's chunky. So when it's chunky like that, I actually try to make sure I get some of the big pieces that don't fit in the spoon, like this pretty big piece of coconut.
Right.
And there was a big berry, or that's like one of the sultanas, I think. I want to make sure I get a piece of all of it in there. So that's sweet berry compote.
Okay.
All right. Put that over there. Okay. So let's check on the status. Yeah, see, there's still a little paler than I like in a rooibos and a honeybush. Actually, that one looks pretty good. The very berry muffin. Yeah. Okay, so the honeybush can sit for a little bit longer, but the two rooibos right here are looking pretty good. The very berry muffin has a nice deep reddish amber color. Looks good. So I'm using my tea bag squeezer.
It's not in camera anymore.
Tea bag squeezer to squeeze out all of the tea out of the sack.
And what did you tell them as far as the brewing time?
I said no less than 3.
Right.
But probably closer to 5.
Right.
And it can go longer.
Yeah,
depending on your preference.
You can't overbrew.
You can't
herbals,
overbrew.
really, especially rooibos.
I have let one sit for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And the brew was still perfect. It was not hot anymore.
Right.
But it was still a pretty perfect, and it still tasted great.
And let me say also that all of these would be fabulous as iced teas.
As iced tea, absolutely.
Yeah.
All of them.
You brew them the same.
Yep.
Brew them the same and just pour them over your ice.
Yep.
You can brew them stronger if you want to, but you want to add more tea to your bag. Although it's not as critical over brewing, but you can add more tea if you want it stronger and then pour it over ice. And it's awesome.
Yep. Okay, so very berry muffin right here, and then this one is the blackberry orange. These are both rooibos based.
They look identical.
They look identical.
Yeah, they do.
Because that's the rooibos.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? And then our strawberry hibiscus looks good.
Very dark.
Very dark because it is hibiscus based. The for sure the base of this herbal is strawberry hibiscus. That's very dark red.
Yeah.
That will stain.
Yes, you have to be careful.
Stain. Be very careful with that.
Yeah.
And then I think the rooibos is actually steeping pretty well. So this is Brianna's blend, also the rooibos, and that looks pretty good. So we didn't have Dad here to time.
Right.
So
no, I think we're good.
Guesstimate.
I'm eyeballing it.
Guesstimate. Yep.
It's good enough. They look good.
So that's Brianna's, and then let's check. This may just be pale.
Well, because it's the green, right?
It's honeybush.
Honeybush, yeah, that's probably
so. Honeybush does brew paler than rooibos, but it is redder than a black tea. And so there's your blooming honeybush, and you can see the difference. And then our last one over here is the sweet berry compote, which is going to be that deep pink color similar to the strawberry hibiscus sangria. And it's because of the hibiscus.
This one's not nearly as dark, though.
That is the sweet berry compote. So there are 6 teas.
Excuse me, I'm going to get a spoon. They look fabulous. I can't wait to indulge.
Taste test all of them?
Yeah.
So those are our 6 teas, so you can bring the camera back up. Oh, sorry.
And
I hope that you'll... Yeah.
Are these teas ever served with milk in it?
No. No, I don't recommend putting milk in anything that's got fruit in it. It's not going to add anything to the tea. I don't recommend putting milk in any of the rooibos or herbals at all. But I mean, you can try and see if you like it. But I don't. I only put milk in black tea. I don't even put it in green tea.
Right.
I only put it in black tea. And even in a black tea, it depends on the flavor of the tea.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a floral or a fruity tea, I'm not adding milk to it.
Right.
Can they be made as sun tea? I would say yes. So typically with a black tea, I don't recommend sun tea because what makes the tea good is the hot water shocking the leaves. But I do believe that the herbals probably could be done as a sun tea.
Yeah, I'm kind of leery of the sun tea. Not that you can't make tea that way, but that the caution is that if you leave it too long, that bacteria can build up in it.
True, especially if it's got fruit.
Yeah, and so I just caution you. That's just my personal feeling that oops.
No, I was checking, make sure I was on.
That I don't do it for safety reasons, but
you could cold brew it.
Yeah, you could cold brew it.
I don't recommend cold brewing black tea. I know a lot of people do. I'm a traditionalist, and I believe that for the tea, for you to get the best flavor out of your tea leaf, that it needs to be hot water.
It needs to be shocked.
Because it needs that shock to unfurl the leaf, and that's what draws out the flavor of it. And I don't think cold brew does that as well. I know a lot of people do cold brew. But I would not hesitate to do cold brew on any of the herbals.
And cold brew, remember, takes longer.
Right.
Now, sun tea is going to
take a long time.
It's going to take a long time, but not as long as cold brew would. But like if you're wanting to make your tea in the morning and be gone all day, your cold brew is going to be fine all day.
Yeah.
The sun tea, I would be cautious about it.
Yeah.
So.
Any other questions? Feel free to ask. Hold on, I'm gonna cough again. This cough, man. I didn't cough as much as I thought I was going to, so that's good.
Yeah, well done.
Okay, so
your giveaway.
Yeah, so we do have a giveaway. We actually have 2 giveaways for tonight. 2 items that I'm going to give away to 2 different people. But just put your name in once for the drawing, and Molly and I tomorrow will draw the names for the 2 items that I'm giving away in order. Huh?
What's the keyword?
The keyword is herbal. He'll catch up, and my dad will put it in the comments. Herbal. Just put it in one time. You only need to put it in one time. You don't get to pick which item you're putting in for. When we draw the names, we'll tell you what you're getting. But the first item that I'm giving away is one of our, that really loud plastic, is one of our Tea for All Reasons thermal mugs. It's stainless steel on the inside, and it works great.
It does. I have 2.
You do?
I do, yeah. And I use them both. I mean, like when one is being washed, then I've got the other one.
Yeah.
But you cautioned me about not putting it in the dishwasher.
Yeah, don't put it in the dishwasher. Generally, none of these tumblers are meant to be put in the dishwasher. Right. The lids in particular, it degrades the seal of the lid, and it could damage the, like I broke the thing, the
sliding thing.
Sliding thingy. Mm-hmm. The very technical term of the sliding
the
thingy.
Sliding thingy.
And I bought replacement lids for mine on Amazon. So you can find replacement lids. Anything for like a Yeti or a thermal mug or whatever. This is a 20 ounce, but it says on the bottom not to put it in the dishwasher. Hand wash only. And it does not go in the microwave because it's metal.
That holds 20 ounces?
It's a 20 ounce.
Wow. This is awesome for me because I fill it up in the morning, I fill it up at lunch, and then I fill it up at dinner. And it helps me to get enough water each day. Mm-hmm.
So you use it for water?
I use it for water.
I use mine for tea.
And then I do use it for tea when I take it in the car.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I am always able to get enough fluid, and then I take it up to my bedroom as well, so that I have it during the night if I need water.
Yeah. My husband uses it for tea. He uses a straw.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. So a small straw will fit in the hole. I don't have straws to go with it. You have to find your own straw. But anyway, so this is the first item that we're giving away. Awesome. Is the Tea for All Reasons thermal mug. I'm going to put it back in the loud plastic.
Glass simple plastic.
Let me crunch it some more. And then the second item that I'm giving away is a 2-ounce bag of the strawberry hibiscus sangria.
Yum.
Tisane. And this doesn't look like my normal bag. I'm out of the normal bags, and because of the tariffs, I had to find other bags. And so this is what the 2-ounce gold looks like. At some point, the 4-ounce gold is going to look like this too.
I like it.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
At some point, when I run out of green, because I do green bags as well, I'll have to figure out a solution on the green. It could be that everything's just done in the gold, depending on the tariff situation. Right now, I'm still stuck. So anyway, so this is the 2-ounce bag of strawberry hibiscus sangria, and this is the second item for the giveaway. And like I said, the keyword is herbal.
Herbal. Okay.
And then no other announcements except our next Facebook Live is July 12th.
Right.
I think we'll be without kids. Oh, you'll be back.
No.
You'll be gone.
That's the day we
That's the day you leave. Yeah, my kids are going to church camp. So we will be without kids that night.
Well, we'll have hubby.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
And our theme is To the Tropics. If you were on Facebook earlier today, you may have seen that I created the event on the Facebook page. And so make sure to mark that as interested or going, and then you'll get notified that it's coming. And then when we do go live that night, you'll get a notification that we're live. And that's it.
Okay, well, let me show off what we've got here.
Yep, you're going to show
All
off.
right, first off, here are the sandwiches, all plated. And look what I did. I decided I needed a small tier server. So what I did was I put this pedestal in the middle and put the small strawberry plate.
Clever.
Yeah. So I didn't think to show you all the plates that I had to offer tonight, but let me take this off. This is a, if you can barely see, Molly, this is a strawberry plate by Staffordshire, and I'm offering that. It's an 8-inch plate, and then the smaller plate here, and I'm going to take off some of the strawberries so you can see. This is by Emma Bridgewater, and each one is $25. So we've got that.
Only one of each?
Just one of each.
Okay.
Yeah.
Need to go back over there?
No, I'm going to bring it over
here.
here.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah. And so I wanted to show you the assembly of the strawberry shortcake.
Scone shortcake.
Sorry. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of the strawberries on the bottom. Nice juicy strawberries. And then I'm going to add some cream.
Molly's going to eat one with just cream.
Yes. Because I don't like the texture.
All right. And then because
Someone asked, what is the link to your shop for the plates?
you want to email me at info@vintageforallreasons.com. And Jen?
You all right?
Yeah, I need water.
Okay.
Okay.
In the mug. In the
Yeah.
TFAR Reasons mug.
Okay. So there are our macerated strawberries and our scone on top of our scones, and then our cream. And there you go.
Beautiful.
Looks very good.
Doesn't that look good?
Mm-hmm.
And so how easy that is. So that was the word for me to convey to you tonight. Easy peasy. You
Yep.
can do and look at how beautiful that tea would be and how special it would be. And it really didn't take that much time to put it together with your strawberries, your fresh farmer's market strawberries, or from the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
All right.
Okay. I think that's it.
Think so.
And so, like I said, we'll be with you in July for To the Tropics, and we're still trying to figure out what that is.
Yeah, we'll come up with something.
We'll come up with
We always
something.
do.
I do have some tropical teas, and so we'll show off some tropical teas, and the bake is what we're trying to figure out.
Yeah,
what's going to be the bake.
Yeah,
but
come
we'll
up with
figure something out.
We will.
We'll get that squared away. Yeah, especially since it's just you and me and Pop.
And Pop, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll make sure that it's something good.
Oh, so
And-
Jesse was going to be out too?
Yeah, they're both at camp.
Oh, they're both at camp.
They
Okay.
go to camp
Gotcha.
together now.
Okay.
But yeah, so we'll see you next time, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening.
Wonderful.
And thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.